Okay. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this info session for the social business creation. We're really happy to be with you today. And let me just start while everybody's still coming in. We're just going to take 2 small minutes to watch a little video together.
We got so much learning from this platform. We have to do many things and learn by fun. Many things and learn by fun.
It's really practical, like it's something that you can use to go back and create your own business, or use it to enhance the business that you've already created.
Coalition has grown beyond all expectation.
You are going to grow as a person. Not only your business and not only your product will grow, but you as a person will grow because you will learn a lot of new stuff, and that's why I will recommend to friends or to other students to go to this competition.
Wow, the Montreal is one of the best cities that I have known.
It's a really once-in-a-lifetime chance to open your network and to enjoy Montreal, which is really amazing and beautiful, and you can enjoy the friendly and dynamic environment in HEC too. It's really amazing.
I recommended this competition because every year is very different and involves a lot.
It is really beneficial for every one of us, teachers, lecturers, mentors, and team members.
The content that we have each day is really beneficial and really broadens out our understanding of social business creation, social business ventures. The site visits that we have are amazing, really eye-opening and very in-depth, and have really given me a new perspective on the potential of social business. And then the location is fantastic. The university campus here is amazing, and we're in a beautiful, tranquil environment that's very conducive to working and thinking and moving through issues. So all in all, the event's very well organised. There's clear progression of understanding and skills as we move through the week. It's challenging, but the challenge is ultimately very satisfying. And so I'm really pleased with having been here and with the progress my team and myself have made during our week here.
It wasn't just what I could give, but also I received a lot of energy and a fantastic commitment from the students to this great cause. And this is a way forward, really, that if you're able to ally the strong business case and the strong impact case together, then we can build a better world together. So that's very encouraging.
And I'm pretty sure that next year, many more of them will come to Montreal to not only compete, but also to learn and to have better projects for the sustainability and for the economic success of my country. Many of these projects are clearly oriented to the areas that need more development, and because of that, we are going to make this one of the pillars of the relationship of Mexico with Quebec.
So hello, everyone. My name is François Poirier. Thank you very much for being here today. I'm really happy to be with you today. I'm the Social Business Creation Coordinator, and I'm here because I love social entrepreneurship. Mostly, I love entrepreneurs. I really love creative and passionate people. I find passionate people very contagious, and they really fuel people around them. So welcome to our info session about the social business competition. Let me change it. And today, the goal is for you to learn more about the program, but also to learn about the experience directly from our participants. And before I dive into the content, let me pause my screen share for a second to introduce Mai Tai, our program director, so she can say a few words to you. Hi, Mai.
Hello, thank you so much for coming for our second information session. I hope that you will watch our first information session, whose link can be found on our main website as well as on our Facebook. So today's session will not like to repeat what we said already in the first session. Rather, we want to make today as more of the Q&A session and an opportunity for you to meet with participants from our previous editions. Thank you very much. And now back to you, Francois.
Thank you, Mai. Let me get back to the screen. There we go. So yes, so like I said, we're gonna go around the program, but as Mai said, the goal here today is really to answer your questions, and you have an incredible opportunity to meet some of our previous participants. So if you're joining us today for the info session, you're really lucky because you have a unique opportunity to ask your own questions. Today our agenda is gonna be booked, but very simple. First section will be very brief because I found that talking to previous participants is much more valuable than just me making a speech. But I still want to highlight what we do here at Social Business Creation, how the admission process works. We're gonna also look at how the competition rolls out throughout the month. We're going to have a quick overview of the prizes that are available to you at the end. And then we will have the opportunity to chat with great participants and entrepreneurs who have walked the path that you're about to walk. So our mission is really simple. We want to change the mindset of students toward the norm that profitability and positive social impact should go hand in hand. And thus, social business is the way to do business. In case you're not clear on what social business is, social businesses are designed to use market mechanisms to address social issues. They have equal objective of profitability and social impact. The social impact of the enterprise is integrated within the business model of the company. And just as Muhammad Yunus, the father of social entrepreneurship, says in this quote that I put, we're here to change mindset of people. We not only want to help you realize the positive impact you can have, but that in your own way, you can spread the message of positive impact around you. So we do this using the levers of social businesses. To enter this competition, we made the admission process as easy as possible. It's a simple form with about 20 questions that take about 10 minutes to fill. It's available on any browsers, on a computer, or mobile. First, we want to know your project name. And during this competition, you will hear the term Living Lab very often. This is actually your project name. And we call it Living Lab because your project is actually what you will use to learn about social entrepreneurship, to test hypothesis, market mechanism. And then we want to know about your team. This is where you will register all your team members, describe their role, and you will assign one team leader. The team leader is only a way for us to simplify our communication so we can send all relevant information to a single individual and make sure we manage to get our communication loud and clear. Next step is about the social issue or issues you want to address. To make this easier, we actually ask you to attach your project to one or more UN Sustainable Development Goals. And this is it. We'll review your admission and let you know early March if you got in and got accepted into our competition. And because our mission is to change mindset and that the Living Lab is your tool, we evaluate both aspects of each round. So each round, you're going to go through the competition in different rounds, which we're going to go a little bit in detail because I want to give you some insights on what we're looking at into each round. First round is about social innovation. Here, we want to challenge you on your mindset and your Living Lab tool. We want you to clarify the vision of your project. That means that we're going to look at how you reflect on the intense social impact, the fit between your company's goal and the UN goal. We're going to look at your understanding of the social issue. Who is concerned by your target social issue? What's the scale and scope of your target social issue? Then we're going to look at the market. And by market, we mean how is the problem resolved by other people? What's wrong with the existing solution today? And then the feasibility. What does it take for your business to carry out such a social work? What makes you capable of doing it? After the social innovation round, we go into the business innovation. The business innovation round is about clarity of the innovation. That means that we want to see the key value proposition to customers and your beneficiaries, and the uniqueness of your business and its level of innovation. We want to see what's your intended social impact in action. Highlight the potential social impact of your business. Show a good understanding of the root cause of the target social issue. It's also about your prototype or your product. We want to understand better your potential buyers. What's the product and service look like? How the product and service are used. And then we also use the mechanism of crowdfunding. We want to know what's your category of backers, why they should make a contribution to your project, what you offer to them in exchange for their contribution. So that's how we start to implement market mechanism. Throughout the competition, you also have access to all our online study courses and virtual training program. We're going to have live lectures coming in to get you the best and most accurate information. And then when we go into the semifinal, for the first 2 rounds, you need 30 over 100 to get through. And then in the semifinal to get through, you need 60 over 100. And that's where we really start digging into your project becoming a business. What problem have you found? The scale of the problem, the root of the problem, and how relevant it's for the society. We're going to look at your proposed solution in terms of mechanics. What mechanics to create the social impact, as well as the mechanic to generate profit. As we say, they go both hand in hand. We want to look at the consistency. And by consistency, we mean the consistency of the social issue, how it's addressed, and how it's addressed in a business model. And then the resources. What do you need? Who do you need? And how ready are you to launch your project? Through that semifinal, we're going to have a unique 5-day virtual training program with top experts to come and coach you for your projects. And then it's up to the grand final. Hopefully, we're going to be able to have you here in Montreal to have this great event. But if not, we're prepared to roll everything online or a mix of both. We're really able to, we're now, as we learned, we adjust to the situation. But then it's your time to inspire others. So in the grand final, we want to see your presentation, your professionalism, your credibility. We want to see your storytelling skills, how you draw audience attention, how you compel the jury, and then your performance. And by performance, we want to highlight both the performance of your presentation, but also the performance of your living lab. And that's where if we are able to go in Montreal, you're going to be able to have visits to a local company, meet incredible leaders. And this is an experience really you don't want to miss. So we're here to help you. However, we're going to be able to do it. We have incredible prizes. This competition wouldn't be complete without really great sponsors. We have the opportunity to be supported by Scotiabank, and they provide amazing prizes. We have cash prizes. We have also prizes in terms of summer courses. And so we have great opportunity to give you a leg up in your project. We also encourage institution. We have participant prizes. The first prize is $30,000 in cash. And then we have also services and prizes. But then this is a great opportunity for any entrepreneurs to actually launch their project. Now I see it's 8:17, perfect timing to meet our alumni. We're really happy, we're really lucky today to have great alumni, and let's meet them. We're gonna have, and let me check my screen at the same time, but we invited today, we have Sidiki Sisao, founder of Proterra Industries. We're gonna have Mabel Gonzalez Pachero and Andrea Gonzalez Pacheco, the founder of Nuestro Flow. We have Alessandro Lozano Alafanu, founders Alafani of Progetto y Servicio. Enrique Contreras, founder of BioBook. Dan Moreno Alcala, founder of Inspora. Xinhuang Song, founder of SaveBets. And Trang Xuan Li, founder of Mom and Me Care. And really sorry for my lousy French pronunciation, but they're gonna do a much better job than I will meeting them. So let me stop my screen share because I actually want to see their face and you want to see their face. And I'm gonna start by, Mai, do you know if Sidiki is with us this evening?
Sidiki, it's 1 a.m. in Mali and he will try to get in. So let's start with Mabel and Andrea.
Awesome.
Yeah, and they're already in the panel. So hi, Mabel.
Hi.
Yeah, so and also Andreas, yeah. Hi, so happy to have you back here. So could you please share with our participants your story, starting before SBC and all the way today?
Sidiki is there. I don't know if you want to go back to him. He just told us that he is there, but if you want, we can start as well. You let us know.
You can start, and then I will chat with him, and then he could go after.
So, Maite, I thank you very much for the invitation, and hello to everyone. And we're very happy to be here with you, sharing tonight a little bit of our experience. As Maite just said, we participated in the first year of this competition. So many things have changed. Since then, in 2016, I guess we were all learning from this experience. We can say that at least personally, I think thanks to this competition is that Nuestro Flow exists today, because we of course had an idea before joining the competition. We had a dream, we had a plan, but we were not sure, and we didn't have the confidence to believe that our idea could become actually a social enterprise. A profitable enterprise that has staff that is able to pay them for their job, that has projects going on. So it was thanks to this competition actually that we gained the confidence that we needed to start our business and to become entrepreneurs. I would say it's a challenge. I'm not gonna lie to you, becoming an entrepreneur and becoming a founder of a social enterprise, it is a challenge, but it's if you want to transform your society, if you want to contribute to solve a social challenge, I think is one of the greatest ways to do so. So I will thank Mai and the team for giving us the opportunity in 2016 to test our idea, to challenge our business model, to change it many times, and we're still doing so. No, it is an ongoing process. So thank you for that opportunity. Andrea will let you know a little bit more about what Nuestro Flow does in specific, and how the social business competition was really useful in this process.
Yeah, well, hi everyone. Hi, Mai. I'm really happy to be here and to see you again. Thanks for this invitation. And yeah, well, as Mabel said, I just wanted to tell you that before this competition, we were an idea, just a simple idea. And it's really nice to just to show, to see the past and maybe to review the way that we have been traveled these 5 years, because the company, as Mabel said, we have been grow up and we are already a social company that is very different from the beginning that to be an idea, and that's it. As she said, we have been facing many challenges as the idea to have a team, a work team. We are already 6 people working here in Colombia, 3 people in Montreal, and that's a really responsibility to have more conscious about what we are doing it and how we connect with other people, how we create well, a company, how we have a community that believe in what we are doing. And yeah, in these 5 years, we have been, I think that the most important thing that we have been learning and understanding better what is the meaning of these three powerful words that we work, that is equity, inclusion, and diversity. And with this understanding, I think we are creating projects, we are creating tools, we are testing many, many things, and we are building maybe a name that have a recognition. I can to say maybe that we have been pioneers in these topics, because 5 years ago, maybe were not too important to talk about inclusion and to talk about diversity. But right now, the word, I think, is well, know the importance about these topics to create a better society. So we are very happy that we maybe were the first ones to talk about this with all the challenges that we are facing. But right now we have the confidence and the well, the idea to grow up better and to share with you, well, our experience.
There was a question that you asked. I don't know, Mari, if we still have time, but you said that what did you learn during the competition that you still apply today or use today? And I was trying to identify just one thing, but honestly, we go back to the material that you gave us often, you know, for different reasons. Sometimes it's just to remind ourselves what we are doing. It's as basic as that. What is the social problem that we want to tackle? What are people doing out there? How can our business and our solutions offer something different to our clients, our customers, our beneficiaries, our partners? I think the tools, the framework, even the people that we met, we're still in contact with many of them. And it's been very useful to have this network of people in Montreal, in Colombia, opening up doors for us, and also challenging us and helping us become better and better. So I guess everything that you're gonna learn is gonna be useful in one or another moment. For instance, this year with the COVID, our first, we were very worried. We didn't know if our company was going to survive because we are still in the process of becoming a stable company. So, and we were very surprised to see that instead of having to close the doors, we've been working more than before. So I guess it means a lot, and it means that social enterprises are needed. And I think there is another environment today. So I guess there is a lot of support now that we didn't have 5 years ago from the government, from private companies that want to work with us and that want to help entrepreneurs that are interested in finding solutions to the social and environmental challenges that we are facing nowadays.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so happy to see that what you learned 5 years ago are still very applicable today. And in fact, at SBC, we are growing, we are improving. So each edition is always a better edition than the previous one. Because we learn also from you, how you learn and how you apply, and we get your feedback from you, and then in order to improve our teaching for the next edition of the competition. So yeah, and of course there will be a lot of questions for you. So let's leave them after toward the end of the session today. So I'd like to introduce everyone to Siddiqui. It's 1:30 a.m. in Mali, where he is now. So I am very grateful that he stays up this late in order to join us to give us his story and how he grew all the way from SBC 5 years ago until now. So Siddiqui.
Yes, hi May. Good evening, everyone. It's actually, yes, quite late here, but very happy to be here with all you guys 5 years later. You know, I'm very happy to be here. And what I can tell you about what evolved during these 5 years is that when I started this competition, the idea of using insects for food and feed was a very general one. We were looking at how to develop food for people by the beginning of the competition, and by the end of it, we were looking and focusing mainly on making the use of insects to make animal feed, and specifically making chicken feed using insects. So 5 years later, our focus has been truly on making and formulating feed for chicken. And we actually moved from trying to grow insects at an industrial scale to actually make feed using insects to industrial scale. So what really happened is that we made a partnership, strategic partnership with a company that actually does that. And we became the first company on the West African side to actually make and specialize in producing feed using insects. So what really happened during those years is that we've been evolving and truly matching the reality. So you start with an idea and then you go on the field. So what this competition provide us at the time was to force me to go on the field. So I remember that summer I actually went to Mali. I actually went to meet the farmers. I went to meet the researchers in the field of insects and truly understand the market, truly understand the cost prices, and trying to and actually arriving at making a real business plan that really reflected the reality of this business. So the competition really pushed us to go on the field and understand what's really going on. The second thing is that we actually had a quite successful crowdfunding campaign thanks to this competition that helped us raise money, that actually helped us raise more money, because by successfully completing that campaign, we showed to the investors that people were ready to invest their money and people believed in us. So by the end of the competition, we had a business plan that reflected the reality of the business. And that was actually comforting for us, because when you go into a new business, a new field, and you don't know exactly what's really going on, but you actually went on the field and you actually speak to the people, you understand, okay, if I'm using this and this input, what is my cost, and at which price can I sell these specific products? Then it gives you much more confidence to the idea that this business can actually work, it can actually be profitable, it can actually sustain itself, and you can actually cover your costs, because that's mainly what this is about. So answering the question of how does it feel to be an entrepreneur, I think it's a lot of responsibility, because on a daily basis you're faced with those responsibilities of achieving results, of being able to deliver products to your clients, being able to produce, being able to deliver, being able to do all these things that the market is expecting you to do. There's competition. You have to be able to find the right way to deliver your product, the right way to market it. And on a daily basis, it's a lot about decision making. So that's what I can say about what this the competition brought, and where we are 5 years later. We've been able to raise money throughout the time. I think the first stage was crowdfunding. The second one was trying to bring other people to believe in us by lending money and being able to to actually get that money back to those people. I had a commercial activity first, and with that commercial activity, I used all of the profits to actually invest into the construction of the facility, buying the machinery and buying all of the inputs used to make the product and commercialize it. And I would say that I wasn't expecting that much impact, because if I give you the example of maize, that is the basis of a chicken feed, you don't expect that many people involved in the production of 1 ton of maize. So when you look at a production of 70 tons of product per year, and you look at how much maize you've used, and you look at how many people are involved in the production of 400 tons of maize, that's when you realize how much impact you're having. And when we also looked at the metric of how much chicken was produced and how many eggs were produced using our product, and we're talking about 51 million eggs last year produced using our products. this is really when you realize how much impact you're having. And to be honest, we were not expecting to have that much impact and that quickly. So it's true, we are 5 years later, but production actually really started to happen a year and a half ago. Before that, it was much more of a commercial activities, but now we've been able to raise funding to build a factory and to produce and sell to the market. And we are growing. It's a young company, but 5 years later, definitely this competition was the beginning of the journey, and everything it brought to us, forcing us to go on the field and being able to raise money was definitely one of the biggest input that we could have. So I definitely encourage you guys to take everything you can from the competition and to use this competition to put yourself out there and to try to get as much information and as much action that you can before it ends, because the end of the competition could be actually the very start of this journey for you.
Thank you.
Well, actually, you have positively impacted more than 12,000 jobs. And so after the competition, could you share with our participants the journey and how many prizes you won after the competition?
To be honest, I don't remember how many prizes we won, because we were just after the that's actually a very good question, because after the competition gave us a lot of exposure. I had to create a website. I had to go on many conferences. I participated at the same time to Impact Hub's program in Mali at the same time. And after all of these programs, we actually won a couple of prizes with UNDP, the United Nations Development Program. We went on another competition with McGill University the same year, I believe. We won a prize with the Faculty of Agriculture as well. And all of these prizes were not just cash prizes, but really giving us more credibility to go out there and to try to convince people to believe in the project. So it definitely also gave us exposure. The crowdfunding campaign gave us a lot of exposure, because I had to share my crowdfunding campaign with as many people as possible, both in real life. I had to go to business people in the agro field and to talk to them about the project. And it actually gave me some input suppliers afterwards, because some of the people I spoke with at the time became my suppliers for certain inputs. So that's what I'm saying, that this competition truly puts you to go on the field and to speak with the real actors, and just being on the field will make you tailor your product or whatever service that you're trying to provide to fit reality.
Thank you so much. So yeah, I know that it's very late at night. So if you could stay for question Q&A after, and if not, so don't feel bad if you have to leave, because it's way too late. And I am very thankful that you make it here to help us. And then our next speaker, we have Alex. Alex participated in 2 editions, in fact, 18 and 19. So could you share with people your experience in 2 editions that you participated in?
Hi, Mai, how are you?
Great.
You look great. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation. So I'm going to explain my process in the social entrepreneurship. So I'm a civil engineer, and I'm really trying to create a change of culture here in Mexico, here in Veracruz. I'm from Veracruz, because all the construction companies are very old-fashioned. So it's really difficult to create a positive change, because our sector is very I think it's the most the one that most pollute. So how do I integrate my social mission in this sector? I'm trying to involve sustainable materials. I think you remember Walter from Monterrey. He participated in the last edition. He was one of the top 3 finalists. So I'm working with him so I can apply or propose sustainable materials in my projects. So, hi Jorge. So it's really difficult because every client that I show like this material is they don't believe in the capacity and the positive changes that this material can bring to their projects. So it's been a really difficult process. My vision is to create first a change of culture. We need to change the people mentality, because our sector is it's getting really difficult. We have a lot of projects here in Mexico. I think that everyone is very aware of the situation that we are that is here in Mexico. We are trying to involve in our process the design thinking of innovation, because we want to give our clients like we want them to feel that they are like partners, not clients. So that's how we are trying to make a balance between client and sustainable materials. It's really hard to explain because there are so many like terms that I don't know how to say it in English. So, but that's the process. So I think that's it.
And could you share with participants your experience in with your work in the field and then the time in Montreal? What did you learn and how you apply them into your projects?
So like engineers, we are like very I think we say in Spanish cuadrados, like square mind. Our thoughts are like very I don't know how to say it, very technicals, like technices. So what social business taught us, they gave us all the tools that no matter which area of the field you are working, you can apply it to every area. So we learn about marketing, we learn about maybe administration, creativity. We learn like many areas of knowledge in like very short period of time. So that gave me the tools to get my enterprise going. We are growing step by step, and that's it. I'm working with my friend Walter. He's giving us all the material. He's a very strong partner. I think we can make great things together, and we want to change the construction sector.
The construction is a very difficult industry to enter, and it has been established for a long time with lots of practices. And you have really a strong courage to enter and then make a revolution in the industry. And we badly need people like you who have the resilience. And when people say no to you, you are not afraid. So I hope that you learn our mantra from.
I have received many no's, but
oh,
a lot. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to change the client's mentality, because they are like very attached to the old-fashioned methods. So it's really hard. It's really hard, but we are trying.
Yeah. And you know that for us, our mantra is that our victory is to be able to convert the no's into a yes. So it's taken for granted that people say no to us. So for us, it's more of changing from no to yes, right? So thank you so much for your work. And now our next speaker, we have Ling, who was with us for 2019 and from Vietnam. So Ling?
Yeah, hello everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well. So could you tell everyone your journey from before until after the competition?
Well, actually, I must say that I really enjoyed the competition. I think that within less than a year, the competition has helped our team to fine-tune the idea, as well as to make us a really quick and big start. Within 1 year, we were able to, you know, make the idea come closer to reality, as well as to have initial steps. We build apps, we conduct training sections for moms. And I have to say that I and the team have learned a lot, not only about technical knowledge, but also on how we work and build a strong team. And I think that it is very important to have a strong team for any businesses. And we were lucky enough that we have such a good team. And as you may know, that Mom and Me Care is an initial solution that create assets for women and their families to standard and reliable healthcare knowledge. And therefore, we do need a really diversified team, not only in health sector, but also in other supporting functions to facilitate the business. And each of us really has different skill set, qualifications, experience to support this business idea. And we did define a really clear role for each of us. And we do have a member with experience in health and education development sector, and she's responsible to build public relations and to be a social network point of contact. And then we have other members with experience in marketing, HR, and finance and project management. And I think that we worked really well as a team. And this is, I think, one of the most thing that I have learned from the competition. As I mentioned, it's not just about technical knowledge, but also about how you work in a team. And for me personally, to build an effective team, there are a few things that we need to consider. Maybe we should understand the nature of the business and identify our weak spots. For example, in our team, our case, as a business in healthcare service, it is very important that we have at least 1 or 2 people who have expertise in this field. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for us to have more insights and to run smoothly. And also we have to identify, you know, time commitments for team members, because, you know, we are students and we spend a lot of time in school, and we only have, you know, nights to work. So we have to really dedicate ourselves to this project. So we worked really like every night to make this happen. And also we have defined a very clear objective of the project and make sure that all team members have followed that. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I remember the judges were very impressed by your crowdfunding campaign, and then the team that you could really build after a few months of the competition. So, could you give any tips for the participants that are coming this year?
Yeah, definitely I have some tips regarding firstly for building teams. I think that it is essential that we meet and talk with the people who are really have the ambitions to do some social business, and they really have some kind of information and fundamental knowledge, as well as share the same point of knowledge with you. For example, we were students from MBA, and it means that we have something in common. We have the same base of knowledge, and we were able to work together as a team. The other thing is that team members should be very, you know, diversified. We should have somebody in marketing, in operation in project management, for example, so that we have a very strong and we could really conduct the business in a more effective way. And as a piece of advice for you, new participants, to have a strong start in the competition, I think that maybe you should first look at the 17 goals, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals from the UN, and try to brainstorm and gather as many ideas as you can based on the above goals. And in this phase, I think that we should not limit ourselves to any ideas. We just throw out as many ideas as we can. And then after that, after we have the list of ideas, then we try to assess the ideas based on the criteria, not only from SBC competition, but also from our side. Do we have the ability and the competence to conduct the business? And based on these criteria, we'll be able to choose the best idea and confidently join the competition.
Thank you very much. And talking about crowdfunding, and Mabel, I think that you also had experience with trying to get funding for your projects, right? So you got the up and down. So could you also share with participants on how you could find resources to get your project going?
Well, actually, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, I think that in order to make a very successful crowdfunding, I think that we better understand the nature of our business. So our business is not only about providing simple advice and information, but it's like we have to work with different sectors, different people from let's say nurses, from doctors, from sex education experts, for example, and we do need to approach all of these people and ask for their help. So I think that crowdfunding is not just about money, but it's also about the relationship, about how you can connect with as many people as you can in the field. And I think this is a very good way to do crowdfunding.
Okay, great. And yeah, so because the crowdsourcing and crowdfunding would be a big part for round 2 of the competition. And round 1, it's first you have to get some moral support from stakeholders in round 1. And then round 2, it will be the real commitment from your stakeholders. And then round 3 will be on execution, scale up. And then the grand final, when you're up on stage, then it's about multiplying your impact. So Mabel, can you also share your experience, all the ups and downs you have?
Well, yes, about this crowdfunding, I was going to mention it earlier on, because I remember that when we had to face that challenge, it was at the beginning of the competition. And for us, it was our first experience organizing a crowdfunding campaign. So we were very worried not to be able to collect that money or to win that part of the competition, is particularly because in Colombia back then, crowdfunding was not necessarily something known, and people were not used to contribute online, to make donations, and to use this kind of websites to support projects. So it was really a challenge. But I remember my saying, if you're not able to gain moral support at this stage, how are you going to convince your investors later on, or your partners, or things like that? And I think it's right, and our colleague just mentioned it. It's about that. It's not about the money. The money comes after, but it's about how you are able to really explain what you want, and to really convince the people that are around you to help you out, and to help you also reaching out to more people. So it was really a very good experience. It was important for us to test ourselves, and it is a challenge. I would lie if I say that it's easy, but I guess that it's something that you're going to be facing all the time, because at least in our case, for us, the sources of funding need to be diverse. We cannot rely on only one source of funding, like NGOs, for instance, do sometimes, money from the government or from international donors. We do work with international donors and with government partners, but we also sell our products. We publish books, for instance. So we did publish a book with Planeta, which is very well known in Latin America. So that was great. But now we're going to be publishing another book, and we're going to do a crowdfunding campaign, because we want in this case the book to belong to us and not to a third party. So I think the exercise in the social business competition is going to be very useful, and you're going to be able to use it in real life with real money, real partners, and that's why it is so important to take the chance and use this opportunity to test yourself and your team.
Yeah. I saw a question in the chat room saying, how long did it take you to actually start your company after this program?
I saw it, and it took us a while to register the company. I think as soon as we finished the competition, we, as Sidiki probably also did, we launched our website, we opened our profile in Facebook, or we had some tools already, but let's say that we concentrated on really explaining our network, what we wanted to do. To register the company, it took us around 1 year, because we weren't sure about what kind of legal figure to use. As you know, at least in Colombia, there is no legal form that is called social enterprise. You are registered as an enterprise, a regular enterprise, which means that you need to pay taxes, that there are not many incentives for you to because of your social component. So it was a challenge to find the best way not to die at the beginning, but to be able to pay what you need to pay, the lawyers, the accountant, and all that. So around a year until we were able to really start our operations.
Wow, thank you. And actually, in the competition, we taught you tools, and then depending on the situation of the country where you are in, so you would need to find the right legal form for your organization. So from social business creation, we emphasize on the business model and on your impact rather than the legal status. We see that some of our alumni eventually register as a for-profit companies, others as not-for-profit organizations, and some others still as the department within an existing companies. And for us, we are all okay with all these legal form of the business, as long as it's a new business that will be profitable and it make a positive impact. And I saw some questions about the what kind of training you are going to get. So Francois explained at the beginning that in round 1 and round 2, we will have online class for you with all the pre-packaged material for you to learn as you are working in the field. But in each of these rounds, we'll have 1 day of conference. The topics and the speakers will be determined by the need that we identified during your implementation of the work. So we need your feedback on what kind of further training you would need, and so we organize that. And in round 3 of the competition, that will be 5 days of training sessions. So all in all, we'll have online class and 7 days of online trainings that happen throughout the competitions. And I also saw questions about who are the mentors. In fact, mentors come from different places. You can have your own mentors to come into the program, and mentors, coaches, and advisors are also recognized for their contribution. And we do have prizes for them for the effectiveness that they could help you in executing your projects, in helping you to learn more. And if you go to our website, you will see the kind of prizes we have for coaches and mentors that are that join your team from your side, that you can recruit your own mentors and coaches to join your team. But from our side, we will have one-on-one coach when you are in Montreal. So that will be in September. If you pass round 3, you come to Montreal, that will be business visit, and one-on-one coachings. And our coaches are entrepreneurs with good success in their venture. And we also have impact investors as our coaches. And so when you are in Montreal, you will learn live with our coaches. We do not reveal their name because we have to identify your need. We need to find the best coaches for your project. So at the beginning, when we don't understand your project, it's hard to find the best coaches for you. So we have to observe you, how you perform, and the kind of need you will have. So we'll watch you from March until August to know what your project is actually about and what kind of needs will what kind of coaches and mentorship that we should provide to enable you to learn better, to execute your projects better. So you will not know about your coaches and mentors from HEC until you get an invitation letter to Montreal. Okay, and are there
I
any
have an
questions?
interesting question that I wrote down from the chat from Suraj Singh. He asked, how does one give back to the community while evolving and growing his or her organization so that the budding innovators are also, so they also learn along the way, but while maintaining their momentum? So how can they balance both business and learning?
First of all, the definition of our social business here and here is that you have to create impact from day one through your creation of value to delivery of value and capturing of the value. So it's giving to community is not just about money. So but by contributing money alone, you are very much like in philanthropic sector. But here we are social business. So by employing sustainable resources, by creating jobs for the right people, and then by creating products and services that can have positive impacts on the life of people and in the market and society, then you already start making an impact, even before you make profits. So actually, Mabel, you can talk about your book because your book was actually named to be as impactful as Michelle Obama's book about educating young girls, right? So you could tell even before you made profit. So how did you create impacts to the society, to young girls about inclusion?
Well, I guess that's pretty much what you said. No, I said that this competition, as I mentioned before, is if you really want to transform your society, that's what motivates you. That's what is there. So of course you need the money. Of course you are a company, so you need to pay your bills. You need to pay your people, but the money comes along if you do your job well, I guess. So one of the books that we published, the first one, because we had already 3 or 4 published with different partners, was sold to around 8,000 families, which is something that we never even imagined. We did that because we wanted to talk about inclusion, about equality. We wanted to create a book that kids, boys and girls, would like to read. And we were very surprised to see that families were looking for something like that as we thought. So we were able to, with this book, we didn't do a lot of money, but honestly, we did a lot more than we thought. We were able to pay for the whole process, for the professionals that work in the book. We were able to create also a fund where we put the money that we get from the royalties that we receive every 6 months. And with that money, we are able to publish other books that then we give sometimes for free to communities and to kids that are not able to buy them. So, so we take money from those families that can afford it, and we go and make sure that people that live very far away from the cities, where there is no libraries, no bookstores, they can access also to our contents, to our tools, because that's at the end what we want. No, we want to transform society. We want people to understand the importance of inclusion, equality, diversity. So we need to reach to as many people as possible. And we need to be creative and use different ways of financing the activity so that we can achieve that goal.
Yeah, actually, it was a big hit. You were all over the news. You were on radios, you were on newspapers, and everybody talked about your book.
Yes, yes, and we here as well, Valérie Plante, which is the mayor of Montreal, also had the book, even though she that wasn't the plan. But you know, like people hear from you and they help you, when they believe in you and when they know that you're doing something really professional and that you care about that. I guess they're just there for you to help you out and to open doors for you that you couldn't open alone.
Well, thank you so much. And we are already going over the planned time. So I saw one question in the chats. Maybe I could answer that as well. So does it have to be a new project, or can we use a project that already exists? The answer is yes. So actually we got in the competition a lot of projects that already existed for a year or two, but then when they came into the competition and they completely transformed into a social business. So they were not social business before entering the competition, but they wanted to learn how to transform, how to make it a social business. It is still acceptable because we know that whatever you enter, you will transform. And whether you're a big or small business, you will benefit from the training. But in the end, our competition here is about new business creation. It doesn't have to be new company. As long as it's a new business, it could be spin-off from existing company, existing project, or it can be completely new company creation, all will be accepted. And so do not hesitate to contact us on our social media, on our Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and email us. So thank you very much, our speakers today. Thank you for coming back to sharing your stories. And thank you, our participants, for coming to learn more about social business creation. And a copy of today's session will be posted on Facebook. And please pass the news by sharing the videos to the people who might want to learn, might be interested in social business creation. Thank you very much. Francois, would you like to conclude the session?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mai, so much for your input this evening. Thank you, every participant, everyone, every of our panelists. Thank you so much for sharing your information, your experience. Thank you for all our attendees who have been with us this evening. As Mai said, if you have any more questions, please reach us at our sbc@hec.ca. You can visit our website at socialbusinesscreation.hec.ca or watch our social media on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. The deadline for registering for the competition is February 28th. And you can find the link on our website along with a ton of information. So again, on the name of the whole social business creation team, I want to thank you all. And I'm looking forward to see you within our competition. Thank you.
Thank you. And good night for those in America and good day for those in Asia.